advantages. Now we're going to discuss the disadvantages of visiting new areas or new places, right? Okay? So, who would like to give me the disadvantages, please?
ممكن أقول اثنين يعني. Okay. Some of disadvantages.
قبل ما نقفل you asked رضا.
What's that? Say it again. Say it again, Hazem, please.
I didn't say anything already.
Who said what?
Reda was talking.
Okay.
لا أنا سمعتها يا مس هند بس يبدو إنه تراجع خلاص. سامحت.
Okay.
والله أنا كنت عامل ميوت أصلا.
يبقى الثاني. Okay. One of the disadvantages is that maybe unstable weather lead to some diseases like cold and so on, something like this. And I think it's considered to be a matter of suffering because you exposed to this.
يبقى أول حاجة, one of the disadvantages is the availability of catching diseases. صح?
Yes.
Catching diseases. This is one. Two, which is?
Exposed to danger.
Like what? What kind of a danger?
Criminal, maybe in this remote area, criminal maybe stealing your stuffs.
Being exposed to dangerous situations, correct?
Yes.
برافو. في حد تاني عنده أفكار تانية يا جماعة؟ حازم أي حد؟ Does have any other idea?
Yes, I have one idea,
yes.
Which is that it's a very far places.
So?
Some of these.
It's the same here when you say that you're exposing yourself to dangerous situations. Like, for example, that would be hard to find provisions. And provisions mean supplies, food, water, and liquids. So hard to find provisions. Dangers of...
Hard to find what? Supervision?
Provisions. Provisions means...
provisions. Okay. Provisions. I know.
Supplies, food, water, and stuff. So dangers of being kidnapped, lost, or even killed in these remote areas, right? Or being exposed to low levels of temperatures could lead to many diseases, like what? For example, like frostbitings in cold areas or in freezing areas. Okay, catching different kinds of colds or different viruses. Which are caused from some flies like mosquitoes, for example, that can transfer virus to another, especially in these remote areas. Also, you're exposed to other dangers like animals and insects. Correct? Animals and insects, especially the fatal ones. Okay? Dangerous and feel like spiders, lions, tigers, and stuff like this. Okay? Snakes. So here, how many advantages do I have and how many disadvantages do I have? Look at my board carefully and tell me how many advantages do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4.
4 versus 2.
4 versus 2. Since I don't have an opinion and I don't have to show my opinion, then that's fine. I have to write my advantages and I have to write my disadvantages. And finally, in the conclusion, if I have a recommendation to say, that would be fine. But make sure you don't mention in my opinion, in my point of view, okay? If you have any recommendation to talk about, all right? So by this, we will be done with the introduction. As I said, in the introduction, I should use 2 main things, main or most important things. Number 1, or A, which has an alternative. What's A in the introduction?
Paraphrases or a general statement.
Or general statement. Very good. Or general statement about the whole topic. And B, which is my?
Thesis. What is going to discuss?
Yeah, what am I going to discuss? Okay. If it is an opinion essay, then I have to tell my opinion and arguments, the main ideas of my arguments. Why would that be my opinion? Like, in my opinion, I think that the government should pay the fees for the young children to get their education, for example, for many reasons that we're going to discuss in this essay. Okay? If you would like to say this, or you can have another option, which is to say your main ideas. But since your main ideas would be much to discuss, you don't have to mention them in your introductory phrase. That would be fine too. Okay? And then I move to my body paragraph. My body paragraph 1 would be, well, there are so many advantages for people to visit these very strange areas that I think this experience would add a lot to their lives and to their own characters as well. Number 1, which is experiencing new places, like new sightseeing, new places, like seeing the sand dunes and it's a very nice place also for meditation. You guys know what meditation is. So again, we can have another point, which is experiencing some rare records and gain more personal characteristics here. For the more personal characteristics, you teach yourself patience, and also you can exercise the very nice spiritual exercises, which is watching the stars over the night in an open area, yeah, which can help you meditate and relieve the stress that you may have throughout your life days. All right, so that would be another thing. Or some other people, or we can move to the other paragraph, which is talking about the rare records. Some people, moreover, some people seek reaching to some or seek hitting some rare records, like such as the Guinness records. Therefore, they feel like, or they venture visiting these places just for getting there for the first time, to be called as pioneers, right? Moreover, gain more personal characteristics. Moreover, this very rare experience can enable people to gain more personal characteristics, especially if they are in a bad need to it, such as patience, especially if they need to practice this characteristic in their life. Also, endurance and the ability to endure and to take a lot of stress and a lot of burdens on your shoulders. And finally, it teaches us how to be responsible, especially if you are responsible for many other people or members in your from your family in the same trip of yours. Okay. Finally, practicing sports activity. It enables us to practice many sports, especially for these people who really seek different types of sports, or these kinds of rare sports that would never be found in any other place rather than these strange areas. Such as
sorry for مقاطعة. seek امتى بنستخدم مع seek for وامتى بدون for؟
seek for, we seek for something, or we seek help Wallahi, there is no specific rule. Yani we seek, it comes naturally. I seek your help. I don't say I seek for your help. I seek your help. I seek your assistance. And sometimes we can say I seek for
job. For job.
I seek for a job. Okay. Yes. For me, it doesn't.
I can use it separately.
It comes, I don't know, but it comes naturally. Maybe there is a rule. Let me find it out. Okay, it comes naturally. I don't know a rule to it, but let's find it out.
Okay.
Okay, so here practice desert activities. Again, as we said, like rock climbing, hiking, mounting. Then I move to the disadvantages, which is there is no doubt that these very strange activities could lead to or could have a lot of demerits, okay? And these demerits are sometimes very fatal, such as هتكلم عن paragraph 1, paragraph 2, وإذا بصيتوا هنا على number of paragraphs that I'm going to write is a lot. Yeah, this is a big number of paragraphs that I should cover. See, here is number 1, here is number 2, here is number 3, and here is number 4. And then I move to the disadvantages, number 1 and number 2. So I have 5 paragraphs in the body, and that would make a perfect score bed. But bearing in mind that I have to be very careful with my grammar structure, vocabulary which is used, okay, and the variety of sentences as well. Then I'll move to my conclusion, which is what? My conclusion would be, again, another mirror. Whenever you look at yourself in the mirror, what can you see?
You will see yourself.
I see yourself. I see myself. But do I see my right hand as a right hand or as a left hand? A right hand would be my left hand in the mirror, right? And the same for my left hand, vice versa. This is what exactly should happen in your conclusion paragraph. You should mention exactly what you've mentioned in your introduction, but in different words. Try to change whatever you've written in your introduction. All right. So you can say that despite the fact that so many people go for very remote places or strange areas to venture or to find different kind of life or different types of life, this has a lot of advantages and has a lot of disadvantages. If I use these 2 words in the introduction, then I have to use different words in the conclusion, merits, demerits, drawbacks and advantages, and so on. Okay?
Okay.
Oh, good sides and bad sides. All right? So this, and then you can tell what have you discussed in this essay. Clear enough?
Clear.
Yes, that's right.
Clear enough. Any questions? Right. For an opinion essay, the only difference between an argumentative essay and an opinion essay is in the thesis, in the introduction. So احنا قلنا الانtroduction لازم يكون في part 2, which is the thesis. You have to mention your opinion in the thesis. Okay? And then after you mention your opinion, in this essay we're going to discuss why do I believe or why I believe that the opinion. Okay?
Okay.
No, I didn't get this point.
تاني الثيسز لما يكون عندك opinion essay حازم. Okay?
Okay.
I want you to give your opinion. Then what should you write in the thesis?
I'm going to...
In the thesis, you should mention your opinion. وخد بالك in an opinion won't be constructed unless you know exactly where you stand. يعني, in other words, unless you're done with your brainstorming diagram, because you won't be able to determine your opinion unless you're done with your brainstorming diagram. And this brainstorming diagram, you will decide what your opinion is, depending on how many advantages here and how many disadvantages there. Okay? Okay. Sometimes you're
like my assignment.
Huh?
Like my assignment.
Yes.
My writing assignment.
Exactly. Like what happened in your assignment. Exactly. Again, my point is that you won't be able to determine your opinion unless you're done with writing. Sometimes the superficial opinion is different than the real opinion you will find out after you're done with your brainstorming diagram. And that would be a surprise for you. But you have to determine in which part you can write more. Sometimes you may not be very convinced with this opinion, but you have a lot of ideas to speak about. Then you have to adopt this point of view, because you have to enlist a lot of reasons and a lot of main ideas. Okay? خلاص؟ Clear?
Clear.
يلا نروح ننقل على حاجة مهمة جدا بقى بعد كده. Which is the paraphrasing techniques. يعني نحاول كده نشرح أكتر how to do the paraphrasing. بسم الله. كترت عليكم النهارده، حاسة إنه النهارده المحاضرة مكثفة شويتين ثلاثة، صح؟
شويتين 3 4.
معلش. I'm sorry. بس هو writing task 2 كده. يعني لازم ناخد فيه جرعات مكثفة كده عشان الدنيا تبقى ماشية parallel مظبوط مع بعض. خلاص؟ طبعا task 1 بالنسبة لنا دلوقتي piece of cake. ولا هنقابل ولا letter هنقول بالنسبة لنا إنه it's difficult أو صعب أو كده. Alright? So بسم الله. Paraphrasing and how to paraphrase. Let's start. Paraphrasing could be using your own words, okay? More or less same length as original, all ideas included. If you're doing the summarization or summarizing, oh, never mind about this, never mind. Yes, paraphrasing, the purpose of paraphrasing either to simplify or to clarify. احنا طبعا ال IELTS task بتاعتنا a little bit different than this part. يلا نشوف how to do it successfully. Read and reread the text passage. It's vital that you understand what the author is saying. يعني ما ينفعش نألف في البارافريزنج، ولا في غلطة ناس كتيرة جدا بتعملها. بيعملوا ايه؟ اقول لهم بارافريز فيروحوا هناك وهم بيعملوا بارافريز يقوموا يدوا افكار زيادة، افكار اقل، او يدوا فكرة مختلفة، او different words which changes the meaning totally. فأنا بقول please يا جماعة please whenever you're doing your paraphrasing, try to be limited within the given writing prompt. Do not add or do not take out. Write exactly the main idea that is given to you. ما ينفعش يقول لي all وأنا أقول a few. ولا ينفع يقول لي all فأنا أقول most. Okay? خلي بالي قوي and I have to be very specific about the given words. Okay, so take notes of the main ideas. Okay, here is the methods. Methods is what really matters to me. Replace synonyms like use dictionary, thesaurus if needed. نزلنا Merriam-Webster يا جماعة.
No, I forgot.
This is so bad, man. Okay, here's my phone. And here is the way it looks like. I don't know whether you will see my phone or not. Yes. Can you see the first row?
Yes.
Here, this one?
The one in red? The one in red color?
Yes, this is Merriam-Webster.
Okay. Misant, can you send it its name again on WhatsApp on the group?
No, والله Merriam-Webster. هبعته لكم حالا دلوقتي حاضر. Okay. So,
I know I wrote it the last time, but I forgot to.
Never mind. I will send the picture to you right now on WhatsApp. Okay, Merriam-Webster application is very important to us to download. ليه؟ لأنه it helps us find out the definitions of the words, synonyms, antonyms, also the words in sentences, which is one of the most important things to find out. So use a dictionary or thesaurus. Thesaurus على فكرة معناها dictionary, but it gives you synonyms and antonyms to the words. Okay? مش definitions. الديكشنري بيديني definition تعريف بيبقى في جملة كاملة. لكن thesaurus بيديني definitions, a word and its synonym in one word or its antonym in one word. Okay? And then, like for example, movies can be divided into 3 categories. For a paraphrase, I can say films can be divided into 3 types. Okay? طيب تعالوا كده نجرب حاجة تانية. Number 2. change plural nouns into singular nouns. Remember the subject-verb agreement. خد بالك إنك when you change the singular into plural أو plural into singular, you have to match it with the verb. طيب تعالوا نشوف كده، أشوف الناس هتعمل إزاي paraphrasing للجملة دي. Overweight people usually do little exercise. بسرعة يلا. Think about it. And write it.
Fatty people.
لا, fat people. That's a very
obese
bad word.
obese people.
Yes.
Obese.
People usually do little exercise.
Yes.
Well, yes, عايز paraphrasing.
Little activities. Little activities. Usually do little activities.
Exercises, activities, okay. طيب بس كده؟
بس كده.
Sports. ممكن أحط sports مكان.
Obese people always do little activities.
Okay.
Less
نشوف overweight people غيرها بكلمة an overweight person. خد بالك من الاستراتيجي بتاعنا، التكنيك بتاعنا هو ايه؟ Change plural into singular. So what's the plural and what's the singular? Your overweight people هتبقى an overweight person. Usually do little exercise هتبقى usually does little. خد بالك ان person تاخد does مش do. Okay? طيب هنشوف number 3 وخدوا بالكم بس من التكنيك. Alright? Okay. So structure sentences grammatically. Structure sentences grammatically. They suggestions. Change active voice into a passive voice or vice versa. نعرف نعمل active to passive and passive to active. هاخد example. تعالوا ناخد example ونشوف ايه الفكرة من ال passive وال active. The people of this country speak various languages. Change the active into passive. عارفين ازاي؟
Okay.
شيل الفاعل خالص من الجملة وابدأ بالمفعول به. Start with the object instead of with the subject.
I know this from a very long time.
Yes, I know.
Languages.
That's cool.
Spoken.
So
Languages are speaked.
there.
Which is spoken.
Language حرام عليك.
Spoken. Sorry. Spoken. طبعا مازن نحف. Spoken.
So various languages. طب عايزين نغير various languages تبقى ايه؟
Variety of language.
Many languages.
Many صح. Many languages. ها كمل.
Are spoken.
Are spoken.
Are spoken. برافو. So many languages or various languages. طبعا هي ما عملتش هنا ال paraphrasing the whole sentence. لكن احنا ممكن كمان نزود عليه ال paraphrasing اللي اتعمل. Are spoken طبعا is correct. طيب use negative or opposite expressions. تعالوا نشوف. Hamid was disappointed because the movie wasn't very good. So use negative or opposite expressions. So the opposite of disappointed is I was so disappointed. So the opposite is that I was very
Enthusiastic.
Optimistic.
Optimistic, yes.
pessimistic, optimistic. I'm disappointed. I'm frustrated. The opposite is
Satisfied.
أيوة ده صح يا عبقري وأنت فين من طيب okay. So I can say that Hamid was satisfied because wasn't satisfied because the movie wasn't very good. طب if I ask you to paraphrase the whole sentence now, the whole sentence. مش بس عايزة I don't want to just follow this rule. I want you to paraphrase the whole sentence, please. What
Hamid was frustrated because the film was not good enough.
برافو حلوة صح. هاي amazing.
The movie was not interesting. That's why Hazim was not satisfied.
ماشي رضا برافو. رضا
Yes, I'm here.
يلا شكرا.
Hazim was frustrated because the film wasn't interested.
in ايه معلش تاني.
Interesting.
يبقى was not satisfied because the movie wasn't very good. And method 5, changing the word order. The word order يعني ايه؟ يعني ترتيب الكلام انا هغيره. Would it be calculated as paraphrasing? Yes. If you're going to Russia in December, be sure to take warm clothes. I need to change the word order. Would you please try to do that?
Do you want the word order only or to paraphrase also?
Yalla, do the paraphrasing, the whole paraphrasing.
Make sure to take heavy clothes if you have a plan to go to Russia in December.
If you're planning to go.
If you are planning to go Russia in December.
Okay, bravo.
And instead of make sure to take heavy clothes if you are planning to if you are planning to Russia in December.
Reda.
When you go to Russia in December, you have heavy outfit.
You have is I'm giving an advice.
You have to.
I'm giving an advice.
You must.
You should. Advice يبقى should مش must.
You should.
ايش دكتاتور يعني try not to be a dictator.
قلنا have ما عجبتش.
Should. For an advice, you should. For an obligation, you must.
You need to carry winter clothes.
You need to carry winter clothes. Okay. And by the way, in December could be الذكاء بقى هنا.
In summer.
In December, if you are going to Russia.
In December. أنا عايز أعمل paraphrase in December.
In winter.
Winter is not December. Is winter December only?
At the end of the year.
ده صح برافو عليك يعني برافو. At the end of the year or in the last month of the year. Yes, in the last month of the year. So be sure could be paraphrased is be sure شوف غيرنا الword order اهو. Be sure to take.
غيرنا كل الكلام.
لا غيرنا دلوقتي كل الكلام لكن الرول اللي احنا now we are following is to change the order, which is be sure to take warm clothes if you're going to Russia in December. Okay? Method 6, changing parts of speech. The parts of speech. How, for example, changing a noun into a verb. I'm sorry that I showed you the answer. Okay, so here, the company needs to find a solution to this problem. Now we're going to change the noun into a verb.
Troubleshoot the problem. Troubleshoot the problem.
Huh?
Troubleshoot the problem.
Troubleshoot the problem. Okay. Or? But troubleshoot, this is not turning them.
Solve.
ماشي. Solve the problem. ماشي. So the company needs to solve the problem. يلا نغير السنتنس كلها بقى.
Miss Hand, I have one question here because I don't know the difference between the noun, verb, and adjective. And one of the exercises the last week it was those three. Really, I don't know the difference.
Okay.
You can just give me the example and I know the difference. Maybe I don't know what is the noun, what is the verb, what is the adjective. But if you give me one example, I will understand.
Right. The word solution here is which part of speech is a noun. خد بالك, any word that ends with T-I-O-N is a noun.
Okay.
Any word that you can add a, an, or the is a noun. Any word that is a name for something, you're naming a person, people, places, animals, plants, countries, these are names. So these are nouns. What's the name of this thing? It's a mobile. What's the name of this thing? It's a tissue. What's the name of that? Is a what? Okay, this is a noun. A verb is what the subject is or what the subject does. So when I say, for example, Hisham lifts weight. So what does Hisham do? He lifts weight. Lifts is the verb. Yeah?
Yes.
Or when I say Hisham is frustrated. So now what is the verb in this sentence?
Is.
Verb to be, which is. So
Okay.
again, a verb is what the subject of the sentence is or what this subject does.
Okay.
This is the verb.
Okay.
The adjective, Ya Hazem, is the way you describe or you modify things or people. This is the adjective, like strong, fat, obese, tall, short, immense, huge, right? Perfect.
Okay.
These are adjectives. So adjectives are words that are used to describe either nouns or pronouns. Like when I say, he is well built. He's very well built. Well built, yani he has a very good body structure, body shape. So
Okay.
he is a well built person. Well built here describes he. Then it's an adjective, right? She is an obese woman. Where is the adjective by which you describe she? What is
Obese.
it? Obese.
Obese.
Obese is an adjective. An adverb is a word to describe the verb. Okay? So she drove slowly, or she's driving slowly. The way she's driving
Is slowly, so slowly is adverb.
very good. So slowly here is an adverb that is describing the way she's driving. All right? So if you're describing a verb, then you're giving an adverb. All right?
Okay.
She's
Okay.
moving quickly. It is, for example, it is jumping high.
Okay.
It is jumping high. Notice here that the word high is modifying what?
The jump. How she jump. How she jumps.
Very good. Does this mean that the adverb should end with ly?
No.
No.
And times it doesn't end with ly. Yet
Okay.
is modifying a verb. Like again, for example, she speaks fast. How she speaks?
Okay.
Fast.
Fast.
It's a word that doesn't end with ly, yet it is modifying the verb. Okay?
Okay.
طيب كمان في عندي يعني I don't want to extend or to to go further بس في كمان شوية كلمات any word that is answering to what extent it's answering this question is an adverb too. Like she speaks very slowly. Very here, very slowly, both of them are adverbs.
Okay.
To what extent is it slowly? Very slowly. Okay? Anyway, so now we know the difference between them?
Yes.
Quite. So here changing noun into verbs, as Mazen said, it's instead of solution, which is a noun, وخد بالك كمان إنه it's preceded by a, which makes you sure that it's a noun, then a verb which is to solve. خلاص؟ طيب, if I ask you to start, please, paraphrasing this sentence. يلا. Paraphrase this sentence, please.
the corporate have to check for a solution.
To find out means to discover, for example, to find out or to reach a solution. Okay, ماشي.
The organization wants to pick out a solution to this trouble.
To this trouble. Okay, good one. ماشي، إيه كمان؟
The enterprise needs to come up with a good approach.
الجمال ده، الجمال ده رضا. جامدة جدا الجملة ده. Yes, the enterprise needs to. قلت إيه؟
Come
up with,
come out.
Come up with.
لا, come up with a good approach or visible approach to this problem.
لا 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 والله قوية جدا على فكرة، قوية جدا جدا.
نفسه مش واخد باله، مش عارف ليه يعني، مش متضايق كده خالص، مش فاهم انا.
يا جماعة الراجل ده بيحب الابريشيشن جدا، ركز معاه شوية وهو بيدي أي إجابة.
ينفع كده والله، والله احنا بنتعب.
برافو يا رضا. لا انت
من ورانا يا رضا.
ايوه بيذاكر، تحس ان هو كده ايه يعني يوسف نفسه كده شويه وبيدينا اجابات غير متوقعه تماما. برافو يا رضا. طيب method 7 which is short sentences can be combined to make one longer sentence. Again, short sentences can be combined to make one longer. طبعا دي لعبتنا بقى دلوقتي. Ireland is a wonderful country. It has beautiful scenery, friendly people, and an interesting history.
Where you have beautiful scenery and as well as friendly people.
طب استنى بس، انت قلت ايه؟ A wonderful country where?
Where you have.
ليه where؟ ليه مش country which؟
عشان البيوتيفول ديت لوكيشن، السينري ديت سينري دي لوكيشن يعني.
انت حطيتها فين؟ after country or after scenery؟
is a wonderful country where there is a beautiful
انت فكرت الدقيقة اللي فكرت فيها دي عرفت انها مش where صح؟
لا، هي السينري دي مش زي مشاهد كده او
ايوه، بس انا ماليش علاقه بالسينري، انا ليا علاقه بالكونتري. It is a country which or a country that. انا ليا علاقه باخر كلمه وقفت عندها هنا. Is it a place? Is it a person? Okay, is it an animal? So a place here. Where you can say where, but again, the country. It's better as long as it's not a specific place, then you have to use which or that. Okay? انت عارف لو قلت restaurant مثلا اوكي تبقى where. A school where.
لا بس لو قلت دبي مثلا هقول where برضو على اي activity ممكن اعملها في دبي بس.
لانه it's a specific country. لكن country in general like common or
Ireland.
As long as it's a common noun, try to use which or that. Like in proper noun, specific noun or a specific place, then you can use where. خلاص؟ طيب Ireland is a wonderful country where? Oh, sorry, that? كمل يا مازن.
That has beautiful magical landscape or
برافو.
amazing landscapes. And
في الآخر خالص.
very as well as very welcoming community.
برافو. welcoming community. ما تقولش as well as welcoming community لأنه في حاجة ثالثة لسه هتتحضر. welcoming community.
As well